what's that thing? It's like, I think it comes from like K-dramas.
The weird heart.
You do the weird heart. Wait, hold on, Deej.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, are we on opposite sides? Okay. I might have picked the wrong hand. Hold on.
So charming. Ow. Ow. Can you hurry up? This hurts.
It does hurt. How do they do this? Wait, is it that? Is it this?
I've seen it. I've seen this. This
does look familiar because it's more unnatural.
It's more awkward. See, ours is this, which is very easy to do.
Wait, get up here. Hold on, I gotta...
Get up here.
Come on, get up on here. Okay, this is pointless. Welcome to Your Inner Shells. Do we just start by talking?
Yeah. That's one way you can do it.
Do I start by saying the thing that we always say, or are we supposed to be having like a repartee here?
I say only if it happens organically. Let's not force it.
This counts, I think, as the repartee.
You know what? Let's get rid of the mics. Let's just hang out.
Let's just do hand-to-hand combat. Welcome to Your Inner Child's an Idiot, the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and wonder if they were any good to begin with. My name is Damon.
I'm DJ. Hello, Damon.
And I spy with my little eye a movie that we're going to watch.
Okay.
We're going to do that game that only you and I enjoy.
Yeah.
I already gave you a hint because we've lost some icons.
Yeah.
So this is a 1996 movie.
Okay, I know what it is.
Do you even want me to bother giving any more clues? Because I don't have any.
Is it Waiting for Guffman?
It is Waiting for Guffman.
This is the one that I was thinking about doing because I feel like this is the only one in the Catherine O'Hara oeuvre that we haven't really touched. I mean, no one here in this podcast wants to watch Home Alone 2 for obvious reasons.
The wrong person died.
Yes.
I should have been more specific in my thoughts and prayers.
It's like a monkey's paw situation.
I do the same game with God where I give him little, weird clues. And I've been chosen that I'm in control of who dies this month. I'm doing a terrible job.
I'm just picturing you right now, like leaning over your bed like a child in a movie. Dear God, please kill this celebrity.
Please kill. The movie came out in 1993.
2 words, 4 syllables. So I came across this movie for the first time many years after it came out when I was doing the theater gig that I did in the summers in North Dakota. And my friends there, or maybe it was in college with those same people. I can't remember exactly, but it was that group of people.
You're not under oath.
Yeah. Your Honor. But it would have been in the early 2000s, and I remember they would just quote it, and I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw it, I did very much enjoy it because it's a delightful movie. And if you've worked in theater, even in community theater, especially in community theater, it is even more delightful, I think.
I have a similar story in that when I was in college, all like freshman and sophomore year, all the elder gays, like this was one of their movies. And so they would constantly be quoting it and they'd be like, I'd like to try that less is more style of acting. And finally, I mean, they didn't bring me in to watch it, but I was friends with cuter gays. So I was brought by proxy. Yeah. I was a hanger on, like hanging on to Cody's, pant leg. I'm like, let me go to the party too. And so
you're like
I
one
got
of
to
those
see
lampreys that are on sharks.
100%.
Remoras, what are they called?
Remora.
Moray eel? No, moray is the different. There's anyway.
Now,
please.
moray is French for mushrooms.
Oh,
so that is a lot more.
Chanterelle. You're a chanterelle, is what I was trying to say.
It's not important. Marine life is not important to my story, but I did get to see it, and it became like a running joke, oft quoted movie.
Yeah.
We're talking about Miami now. Also, I mean, anytime someone wants to, if they're thirsty, I'll say, come in and get a Coke.
If you're thirsty. We said that all the time.
It's just a delightful, quotable movie. I was not quotable in community theater, but I was in high school theater class. It may surprise you to find.
Yeah.
And it works just the same.
It's the same. Yeah. I don't think they were like doing super incisive satire, but they do hit on some archetypes, that are the know-it-all kind of Catherine Hare and Fred Willard. Like they're the kind of
Fred Willard especially. I just want to punch him in the face. God rest his soul.
Yeah,
his character I want to punch in the face.
Yeah,
I love that part when he's doing his audition after they finished. And they just used 2 chairs in their audition. And they're like, oh, you can take the chairs away. And he's like, you want me to strike it?
We've worked with Corky before, so we know all the terminology. I love that. Yeah, I think...
so this is going to be a piece of shit, right? We're going to watch this and be like, what were we
I'm trying to think of, like, it was one of those that got quoted so much that maybe my expectations were too high. And so I was kind of like, yeah, that was funny. But then I did end up getting it over time or multiple watches. I'm like, this is great. But I think having heard my friend Lexi say, Corey, we love you. We want you to live so many times that you're kind of like, it loses its surprise factor.
And then not to mention if everyone fucking loves the movie and you're sandwiched between 6 people that are just eagerly awaiting each line.
Yeah.
And you can see them like leaning forward as you approach something.
Say the line, Bart.
It's like, oh my God, here we go again. I should have watched this alone. So we're going to watch that.
Yeah.
1996's Waiting for Guffman.
Is this the first Christopher Guest directed movie that we've watched? A lot of his, Spinal Tap would be the other one. He's having a full allergy attack. I should have just waited. I'm so sorry.
Spinal Tap is Rob Reiner, but I think this is his first mockument.
Yeah. Oh, this is his first. Okay.
That he directs.
Did he write? He wrote Spinal Tap.
I believe so. I believe did Eugene Levy write it with him?
Yeah, maybe.
And then I know he and Eugene Levy are credited as writers here, but I think what they do is they sort of create an outline and, they say, okay, well, this scene, we're going to be doing this and we just need to establish this and whatever else comes up, comes up.
And they just sort of go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Delightful. Well, we're going to watch Waiting for Guffman, 1996. Watch along with us and get amused, but also a little sad.
About Kathy?
Yeah.
I like that I respond to something you said while the system was getting ready to start recording. So it's just my response to you.
It makes you sound insane.
That's great.
That's my favorite
It
part.
also makes us both sound unprofessional.
Well, that's just accurate. Would you like to talk about our Lord and Savior, patreon.com/innerchildsandidiot?
I would. Actually, my family's eating right now. If you could just leave your literature at the door, we'll be happy to read it.
What ho? Have you heard the good news? You can support our podcast. You can get some bonus episodes. You can get your name read in the credits. You can get your name written in the written credits.
We could have a new tier where we mail you weird underwear that you have to wear as part of your new Patreon established religion.
Would you like your own planet?
Or is that something you're interested in?
If we get enough patrons, I feel like that's something we can make happen. I don't know how much planets cost, but it's more than we got now, so we need your help.
Wait, we have to, as the religion, we have to buy the planets ahead of time to dole them out afterwards?
No, it's like a sponsor thing, I think, like when you buy someone a star.
Oh, like DraftKings. Okay.
Like DraftKings.
DraftKings will own a planet, and then you will live there. Technically, you are an employee of DraftKings Ltd., but aside from having to paint your house green and orange, you're going to love it.
Other than that, patreon.com/innerchildsandidiot, brought to you by DraftKings. Are you into sports betting? You seem like a guy who's into sports betting.
Yes. I love that we were really against gambling, and then all of a sudden they woke up one day and we were all like, A-okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're just going to be betting on sports, and unless we can figure out a way for us to bet on anything, and we just did that. So now you can just bet anytime there's even the slight disagreement between people. You can bet on that, and it's perfect for you. Perfect for you, people who already are underpaid for your work. You're going to love this betting thing.
I like how you got in and stick up for the little guy in there. Good for you.
People know me as a man of the people. Ever since I was a young lad who talked just like this, still as a child, people have recognized that I was a man of the people.
Yeah.
A populist, a nationalist. No, not a nationalist. That's the bad one. Populist.
Damon Wellstone Xanthopoulos, they call you.
The fourth.
The fourth.
Oh, my great-grandfather did some terrible things. We don't talk about him unless I need to get into college.
Then I won't shut up about him. Because he also went to Kent State. It's hard to get into.
That's the college I'm trying to get into?
Harder than you think to get into.
I believe you might know my grandfather. Damon, what was it? Wentworth? Wellstone. Xanthopoulos. So I think I'll be getting into Kent State this fall. And they're like, yeah. Sure. I mean, we already actually accepted you before you kept writing your middle name on everything.
That's why you took all those AP classes. You're basically graduated already. Would you like to talk about Waiting for Guffman?
Almost exclusively. Should I sum it up?
I would love for you to recap this for me, for you,
because you didn't do the reading.
Entire human race. Yeah.
Waiting for Guffman. It's a story of Blaine, Missouri. A small town that is celebrating its 150th anniversary. That's not right. Birthday.
Sesquicentennial.
And in preparation for that, they are...
Some say the sesquicentennial... No, I can't say it. The sesquicentennial has never actually been spotted. It's just like a hoax.
In preparation for that, they're going to do a big celebration, and they're going to end the celebration with a play recounting... the town's history, which will be written and directed by the local Blaine drama teacher, Corky St. Clair. The music will also be by Lloyd Miller. Is that right?
Bob Balaban of Paramount
Studios, a scion of Paramount Studios. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like speaking of great-grandfathers, I think like some rung up the tree, founded Paramount Studios back in the 1900s.
Yeah, you say he changed his name from Paramount to Balaban just to.
Right. He's like, sure. I want to be treated just like everybody else.
I want to earn this.
Anyway, so Corky, his play is going to be called Red, White, and Blaine. Solid. And he holds auditions for the townspeople. He has Ron and Sheila Albertson, who had been in other productions that he did, like Barefoot in the Park, and a stage adaptation of the movie Backdraft, that may have shut down production because the fire department was called after he burned some newspapers in the vents for... more realism
set the building on fire.
So he's an avant-garde, type director. He's really pushing the envelope, and Blaine's lucky to have him. Also, the local dentist, Dr. Pearl, DDS, he is, a dark horse in the running, and he gets a part. And then Libby Mae Brown, who works over at the DQ, the Dairy Queen, she's in it. And then Corky has to sort of rely on going out into the town and finding people.
He's got to recruit.
So he gets, what was his name? Wooly?
Yeah.
To be the narrator, a nice old curmudgeon who has a interest in taxidermy. And then I guess just luck of the draw, just must have seen Johnny Savage, the local youthful taut mechanic who's 6'2". Corky St. Clair recruits him also to be in the play. And, they go through rehearsals, and they realize, Corky, having been in New York, been in the theater scene in New York before, his dreams were crushed. He writes to a talent agent, not a talent agency,
producer.
But like a producer, a Broadway producer. And they're going to get the Mort Guffman to see Red, White, and Blaine. And the fame bug gets everyone. And Corky decides that he needs to really go all out because while the play is ready, it's not Broadway ready. So he asks the town for $100,000. And the town, unfortunately, says, we just have $15,000, and that includes swimming. And Corky says, well, I don't have any swimming in my play. He's like, no, I mean for the pool. Like that, we have $15,000 for everything in this town. And so Corky, frustrated, quits and tells them that they're bastard people, the city council, and quits. And Lloyd, the music director, was going to take over the show, but is quickly abandoned by the other actors who go to try and get Corky back. Doesn't work. Then the city council themselves, including Mayor Larry Miller, go to Corky's apartment and win him back. They don't give him any money, but they tell him if anyone can, get blood out of a stone with the money that he's already working with, it's Corky because he's a genius. And Lloyd, no one likes Lloyd Miller, and he shops at Walmart. He doesn't even support the local economy. So Corky returns. They finish the last few days of rehearsals, and they put on the show, y'all. But like anyone who's ever done a production, there's a hiccup at the end on the day of the show, y'all. And it's that Johnny Savage inexplicably leaves the production on the day, and Corky has to play his parts.
I think it's explict that his dad says he can't, right?
It's explict, but I feel like there's something going on there. We can talk about it when we talk about the show. Okay. Or when we delve into it. Anyway, they do the show. There's catchy, there's catchy numbers. They win over hearts and minds. They sing hits like Stool Boom, Penny for Your Thoughts. What is it? Wagons.
Nothing Ever Happens in Blaine.
Covered Wagons. Nothing Ever Happens in Blaine, and then the reprise of Nothing Ever Happens in Mars. And that's the show. And then they see, there's a man seated in the reserve seat for Mort Guffman. They bring him backstage, and they're hoping to get, his honest thoughts about the play. And it's revealed that he's not Mort Guffman. Mort Guffman was unable to attend because of a snowstorm in New York, and all flights were grounded. And then we get an epilogue a few months later, and everyone's life has been destroyed by this theater bug. Alan Pearl has moved to Florida. Libby May has gone to another small town in Alabama and works at a different Dairy Queen now. The Albertsons, they did make it to Hollywood, but they are now just extras in a boot commercial. Corky goes back to New York City, opens a film memorabilia store, and he really thinks he's got a shot at playing Henry Higgins in Mort Guffman's production of My Fair Lady.
Hello.
I don't know are you going to Artford? Get out of this, L-Ool. I don't know if he's got it, but we'll see. Maybe he got into Mort Guffman's production. Oh, but that's waiting for Guffman.
That's me snapping for you.
That you can also do this. That's what the Gen Zers are doing. I think it's a drag queen thing. I don't know. Or what's that thing? It's like I think it comes from like K-dramas.
The weird heart.
You do the weird heart. Wait, hold on, Deej.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, are we on opposite sides? Okay, I might have picked the wrong hand. Hold on.
So charming. Ow! Ow! Can you hurry up? This hurts.
It does hurt. How do they do this? Wait, is it that? Is it this?
I've seen it. I've seen this. This
does look familiar because it's more unnatural.
It's more awkward. See, ours is this, which is very easy to do.
Wait, get up here. Hold on, I gotta
get up here.
Come on, get up on here. Okay, this is pointless. My wrist doesn't turn in that direction.
Also, this audio medium, so. Nothing Ever Happens in Blaine.
It's all the say. I just want to say,
yeah.
I think I've caught this before, but it really stuck out to me this time. That Lloyd, Bob Balaban's character, is the only person who knows what the fuck he's doing. And the fact that everyone hates him is great. And his face when Corky returns to production.
And you just see him in the background and like
seething.
Yeah, and he's like out of focus a little bit. I also relate to him so much in this, which is upsetting a little bit because he's obviously like he is a little when he comes back, he does not handle it very well. But I can tell, like, I feel like I'm reading into it because Bob Balaban is funny in this. Everyone is funny in this. He's nervous, right? Like he wants to do this. He always wanted to direct it, and he's always been the one who directs these shows. But they're like, oh, we need more this year, so we're getting Corky to do it, and he thinks it's dumb. And to an extent, he's correct. But he's also bad at dealing with the actors because he just comes in. He's like, now listen up. No one wants to listen to him.
Corky's gone. He's quit
gone.
the
He
production.
doesn't like treat it with any emotion at all. And they're very like, whether this is the cast you want or not, this is your cast. You got to handle them a little more gently.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't do a good job right then. Like he just says it in the way that would invoke the most panic out of everyone. Corky's
revolution.
gone, and we need to get this thing together
like for the day.
But I do feel bad for him. Because he is uncharismatic, and those people don't usually succeed very well. Sorry. Even though he's hyper competent. I was kind of amazed, and I would like to get your take as a musician. I know we're just going all over the place, but like when they're doing the actual production, Bob Balaban's conducting, of course, but he has like some. I was impressed by the musicianship because there's one guy playing trumpet and xylophone at the same time.
I think I don't know if that's really that much of a joke, but I read it as like, yeah, these people are kind of badasses. Like they're actually, or he knows what he's doing. And then he's sort of like, I don't know. It's actually, the whole thing is pretty charming and pretty good. Also I took it as a small town thing of like, well, I'm not going to get a whole orchestra. I got these people and they know what they're doing. Exactly. Yeah.
So this guy's going to be in the brass section and the percussion section. Oh, I should also mention, I immediately recognized when I started this movie that it's a Castle Rock production. So it's also Rob Reiner produced.
Oh, yeah, that would check out. God damn. We'll get to the Catherine O'Hara of it all, obviously. Do we need to step into the problematic corner just for a moment?
I do have an item in the problematic corner. I'm curious to see if it will be the same. Oh, I only have really one.
Okay.
Am I problematic?
Let's go.
Turns out I was the problem all along.
Hit it. Theme song. Problematic corner theme song by Jackson. Thank you, Jackson. What's yours? You begin.
Well, I mean, this was a question while me and Tyler were loading up the dishwasher. Is Corky St. Clair homophobic?
Yeah. As a character.
Yeah. I mean, he might be. I don't know if he has internalized homophobia. Probably. Yeah. And that was sort of something I was wrestling with today as well, just as I was thinking about the movie. I read an article by Dave Holmes, friend of the show. That's not true. You can't just declare people friends of the show. But he wrote a piece for Esquire a few years ago about, he loves Waiting for Guffman, but he hates Corky St. Clair. And for the reasons that Corky is kind of, I think the way he puts it is like, the joke on Corky is, hey, here's a gay person existing. Get it?
Right. Yeah.
And there's part of me that is sympathetic to that there is a lot about Corky that is, the joke is he's the drama teacher and he's effeminate and he's obviously like super into Johnny Savage. Who wouldn't be though?
Yeah.
And there is, yes, I feel that. There was part of me also though, that there is something relatable about Corky.
He's gay in a small town.
Small town gay was the part that really read to me. I feel you and I might be part of the last generation that can like sort of think back to your childhood and go, oh yeah, the guy who played organ at the church. Duh.
Okay. He was
of course.
He was at least asexual. You know what I mean?
He had no wife. He had no children. He didn't seem to ever talk about prospects of a wife and child. So there is something I don't want to throw him out with the bathwater. I certainly probably wouldn't write a movie with a Corky-like character today. But there is something about him. I think I also like really related to when I watched this the first time in the 2000s, when I was in college, I related to the aspect of like that his sexuality is never really addressed. This time watching it, I thought of like in comparison with his obvious toupee as well. Which they're like sort of one. There's this like thing sitting on his head the entire time, and the joke is it is never pointed out. It is never addressed. In fact, I think there's a deleted scene where Corky goes hunting with some other character. I can't remember who, and he falls, and his toupee does come off. And I'm so happy they deleted it because I like that it's just this thing that's part of his character.
Very obvious. He either has extremely bad hair or an obvious toupee.
He has very bad choice in haircuts or a toupee.
Yeah,
but how do you feel about Corky? No, go ahead.
No, it is played as a joke, and I think that's the part. Like, he is the butt of the joke, and I'm gonna go home and bite my pillow, and it's, which of course I thought was hilarious at a younger time, because it's like because he's gay. That's what gay people do. They bite pillows.
They bite pillows.
We're like, yeah, I guess. But he, and then his general kind of demeanor, and he's a stereotype in a lot of ways, and it's a little bit like mini T tragic to his story of he thought maybe he would go to New York and kind of find his place and maybe find his community, maybe, and it's never explained. He's
arrived with a dance belt and a tube of chapstick, just sort of that sort of thing.
Also, there's no, as you mentioned, it's not addressed. In fact, he says he has a wife. I only put it together
right.
in this viewing that I'm like, I always thought that he had a beard and she was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, oh no, he doesn't have a wife. That's him. He's shopping for himself. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's still kind of
gay
like,
men wear women's clothes.
Right. They all do that, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice blouse, by the way.
You can't see anything from below the waist here, below my masculine shirt.
As far as words on the page, he's in a straight marriage. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's not actually saying it's gay. And there are effeminate straight people, as I say, talking with my hands. Like, but,
I desperately scream at all my friends.
And it's also, who cares, right? It's not that. But I also think this was made in 1996, and it is a joke and we are kind of making fun of it. And so I think if you were offended or if you felt like called out by it, like my friends that introduced this to me were like theater kids and gay dudes who thought it was hilarious.
Right.
And that could be definitely internalized homophobia for sure. But they were just like, this is people we know, and this is what people that are terrible at acting and singing, this is what they would do if they were put in charge of this. And that's funny. Like, that's kind of the whole thing. It's like a cartoonish version of that.
There's also a part of me that likes quirky St. Clair because he's kind of a time capsule before, like, the trope of the hyper competent gay guy took foothold, like in the 2000s with like the first iteration of Queer Eye, where gay guys can do anything. And I like that he can't really dress himself. He can't dance. He's not really good at singing or acting. Yeah. He doesn't have a delightful bon mot every time, he's cornered. In fact, he really stumbles.
He does
just calling people bastard people. It's like, how many babies can you fit in a rubber tire? The old joke. I'm like, what are you talking about?
His argument with Lloyd is my favorite, where he's like, once again,
why are you whispering?
This doesn't have to go.
Why are you whispering?
Yeah, and Lloyd is correct. He's like, they don't know the song yet, and we're doing all this choreography. But he doesn't know how to deal with Corky, and so he's like, I just think what he should have done is like at lunch. You know what I mean? Bring him aside.
Yeah, Lloyd is bad at handling things.
Instead of,
do you want me to talk louder? Is this better? Is this better? Now it's too loud.
He's kind of an asshole. He has zero frame of reference. Anyway, this is just talking about Corky, the character. This is not necessarily his kind of the homophobia of his character. But I don't know. It's not for me to judge. I'm not like desperately offended by it, but I think it's definitely a homophobic character. I think it's lightly done.
I think there are aspects, like I said, the sort of small town gay glass closet. He's like sort of Schrodinger's gay guy, where it's like everyone knows, but no one knows. Like they can't. These creative types, I love that Mrs. Pearl just keeps using the term, these creative types. I'm like, I know what you're saying.
I want to get to her later, by the way.
But I think I might classify him as like a dated character, but I can't help but he is funny to me. And I think because he reminds me, in fact, like watching this, I looked up some of my old teachers from high school. I was like, let's see what happened to him, and a lot of them have died, but they died without husbands or wives. I was like, knew it.
Boy, we are getting old.
That's bound to happen.
I remember kind of struggling that you're like, why wouldn't you just? This is something that like a dumb teenager would think when you encounter that. You're just like, why wouldn't you just just be normal or something if you're like feeling so isolated, as if that's something that you can control, like as if it's something that you just sort of decide.
Right. Or as someone who's like experienced being around straight men before, it's like, come on, you've seen how these guys act.
Yeah.
That's why we're not talking about it.
Just do that, but
just be cool, man.
I think we also have to, this is a different topic.
Oh yeah. Do you have another item for the problem?
It is just the Fred Willard of it all.
I don't count that as a problem.
It's not really a big deal, but if you were to have just been like, I remember reading his name in a headline.
Oh, his actual life. I thought you meant Ron Albertson, the character. I was like, I think he's supposed to be sexist and controlling.
He was arrested, caught with his pants down in an adult theater.
Right.
And they which is like the very like Paul Rubens sort of thing where it was like,
we're at an adult movie theater. What do you think we're doing?
I guess, you know what I mean? What is this, a sting for D? What are we doing?
And actually, the way you phrase it, there's that episode of The Simpsons where Chief Wiggum goes to an adult movie theater and he sees Krusty, and Krusty's like, "Oh, is this a bust?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
a bust." But yeah, I mean, I don't even count that. I mean, I didn't live in an era before porn was readily available either through Betamax, VHS, or streamable platforms. But I'm like, whenever I hear about people getting arrested at adult movies for jacking off, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're airing adult movies.
Do you think
I'm just supposed to sit here and watch it and then take this energy home with me?
And I'm supposed to just wait? It takes 15 minutes to get home. Plus, I got to get parking. I've got to wash my hands.
And this movie's going to get out at 6:30. I'm going to be right in the middle of traffic.
Then I'll be hungry. Wait,
I just got to stop and get a bite, or do I get something to go, do my business, and then eat the burrito?
I just got to remember the boobs.
Hold on. Okay. All right. So that areola kind of points in a little wall-eyed. Okay, I'm going to try and remember that. She's got a freckle right under her clavicle. Okay, I've got this.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if I can't have the fucking people who won't have shut up and won't have full fucking conversations on their cell phone, and if I can have them arrested, Fred Willard shouldn't be arrested in a porno.
Talking on your phone, killable offense. Jacking off during an adult movie at an adult movie theater. Hey,
now
pointed in the other direction at least.
Now, if he had been
get a blazer
off,
and just sort of hold one end up.
If he had been jerking off during a showing of Cider House Rules or something in like the Regal 27, then it'd be different. But anyway, you want to get out of the corner?
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let him know about it.
Oh boy. Okay, let's talk through our characters here.
Please.
We talked at length about Corky. Let's talk about Dr. Alan Pearl for a moment, if we could. Eugene Levy.
I love Alan Pearl. I mean, he when he says the line, "I wasn't the class clown, but I studied him. I sat next to him and I studied him." That is Damon Xanthobulos. I was not going to bring any attention on myself, but yeah, I was watching BJ, get all the laughs in fourth grade. And I'm like, interesting. You're probably going to change your initials in a few years once the Monica Lewinsky scandal breaks. But BJ, you've got an eye for comedy. But yeah, I felt very akin to him. He is probably the most likable of the characters. It might be our sort of like the audience's like through line into this.
A little bit more of an everyman, or like a kind of. He's definitely more normal, I guess, of anyone.
He's never done this before. His wife pushed him to audition, and he's a little uncomfortable during the rehearsals at first. He doesn't really know necessarily what to do, but he immediately catches the bug. Even though he's still a little wooden in rehearsals, he's so excited and immediately thinks he says at one point, he was like, "Just think, if I hadn't auditioned," I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, "I could have missed this. Like, I could have gone my whole life without realizing that I do indeed have talent." But I mean, he's charming. He's probably the saddest one though during the epilogue, after the play, and they realize that Mort Guffman doesn't come. he goes to Miami. His marriage ends. His marriage to his wife, we suspect.
Does he leave his wife? I don't think
we
we
see
said
him
that.
at Miami Beach, and there is a very purposeful pan down to his hands as he's talking, and he is not wearing his wedding ring. And so he's gone to Miami to entertain old ladies with his song, My Bobby Made a Kishka, and his wife is back still in Blaine with their kid.
Wow. Oh, yeah, because they have a little baby.
They have a baby. You know, we mostly hang out with, we don't really hang out with the creative types. We usually just hang out with, other parents with kids.
So you're saying he left his wife and baby to go.
I mean, that's what is implied. It's never clear. I mean, I guess the endings of these Christopher Guest movies, maybe with the exception of Best in Show, are always so sad. They're heart-wrenching. Best in Show lucks out in that, like, there's an actual winner of the dog show. So it keeps everything a little afloat. And they seem the happiest. A lot of people pursue their dreams, but Waiting for Guffman is that epilogue is rough. I mean, Libby Mae Brown had this dream of going to New York, which is actually an island, and hanging out with some guys, Italian guys, watching TV. And instead, what she ends up in, she leaves Blaine and just goes to Sykes, Alabama, because her dad gets out of prison, and she's just working at another Dairy Queen.
Yeah, but she has ideas.
She does have ideas for a blizzard, a low-fat blizzard, which, as my friend Jeff would always point out when we watch that, is like, that's called a breeze. It already exists at Dairy Queen.
Yeah. I also
then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, now I'm so sad because I really enjoyed.
Oh, yeah, Alan Pearl. Let's stay on Alan Pearl. I got distracted by Libby.
Mrs. Pearl. She was my surprise. I think she is. Obviously, Catherine O'Hara is going to win the Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP because it's our first
tough race this year. I'm sorry to all the nominees. It's an honor just to be nominated, really.
But she's my surprise, I think, on this one because I really enjoyed her in this. So this is Linda Cash.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Alan Pearl is all she's listed
God!
as.
And when that sweet moment when when Alan Pearl first appears on stage during the actual play, and she wants to applaud and realizes that no one else is as invested as her husband coming out on stage, and so sweet, and she's so supportive, and thinking that she is the one who supported him and pushed him to do this, and then at the end he leaves her.
Wow. Can I just keep my headcanon that that's not what happened?
Maybe he does have a ring on his ring finger, but does not look like it has like diamonds and studs.
I'm saying whether he's wearing a ring or not, sometimes I take my ring off. Doesn't mean I ain't married. I'm saying they came with him. He started a new practice in Miami, and then he does this on the side.
Maybe. You know what? Just like me, I had my headcanon for the mother in Mary Poppins. She still votes for women. Just because she used her sash for the tail of the kite doesn't mean she gave up on the cause.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I'll let you have your headcanon. Isn't it really sad?
How high, Ridge? I do not. How high? I really like that. That's great. He does the very classic Eugene Levy bit, though, like taking off his glasses and then he crosses his eyes.
I have a very lazy eye.
It's good physical comedy. Apologies to anyone with a lazy eye, but it's.
He also does a pretty passable Johnny Carson impression as he.
Yeah, which is a little racist on its own.
All
but
the parts he remembers are all these weird Native American jokes.
Yeah. Why is that the Johnny Carson that he thinks of?
I don't know. I have a feeling it probably was a recurring character. If I know the 60s and 70s, Teach, it probably was a recurring character.
How about Libby Mae Brown? You want to talk about Parker Posey as Libby Mae Brown? One of my favorites. There's so many favorites. Everyone's
tied for favorite. Libby Mae Brown, she works at the DQ. Come in and get a Coke if you're thirsty. She is so sweet. Parker Posey, of course. I was happy to see the world... the heterosexual world recognize Parker Posey as she entered the White Lotus, a few years ago. Papa, no!
I love that her accent is way more believable in Waiting for Guffman than
absolutely
than in White Lotus.
She's very charming. I'm trying to remember. Well, of course, I mean, I think her most quoted line that I hear is, "It's the day of the show, y'all. It's the day of the show."
Johnny Savage drops out, and she's very upset. I had another, obviously. The You can just drive up and get a Coke. That's the other one. And
what
then,
does she when they're trying to get Corky to come back to production? Of course, Catherine O'Hara screams, "Corky, we love you. We want you to live."
yes.
Because she's assuming he's killing himself. But I'm trying to remember what Libby screamed. She just starts screaming at everyone. Will you leave him alone? She just starts screaming and slapping everyone.
Oh yeah, she gets mad and like leaves everyone. Yeah,
she's just so good as a teen. She feels very much like a teenager.
Yeah.
She does sing "Teacher's Pet," and I don't want to do this a lot, but I will say I prefer her audition that she does. That is a deleted scene.
Oh.
I deliberately did not watch the deleted scenes because I already had trouble going into this movie remembering what was in the movie and what is not in the movie, because the deleted scenes became part of our viewing experience in college. So it's a little fuzzy what actually is a canon event. But she has an alternate audition where she actually does a scene from a play where she is a woman coming to visit her brother who is on life support in the hospital.
Oh my God.
She comes in and she's like, and you see me in my fine clothes and my expensive jewelry. And what does she say? She says at some point, she's like, before you went insane. And she's delivering this whole monologue to a comatose man. And then at the end, she's like, she's about to leave and she's like, oh, I forgot to say there's like a plug on the wall here. to Corky, and then she mimes unplugging his life support and leaves. And then she does this great thing, which is a Parker Posey thing, where she acts like it was so emotionally exhausting doing that terrible scene. She's like, and scene. It's deranged. But
very good.
She does another song, "Teacher's Pet," which is a delight as well.
I remember seeing this the first time, and it made her seem like she was going to be more of a sex pot or something in this, but she's not really.
She's not, but it is implied that she is. She may have some boy craziness. She might have a tinge of boy craziness, because the most exciting thing about New York is all those Italian guys.
You could imagine, especially being like a cute lady in Blaine, Missouri, that she's like, I've seen all these guys. I'm not interested.
Absolutely.
Except for Johnny Savage, and for some reason, he's not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mysteriously. Also, I just want to say before we go on from Parker Posey, possibly the saddest thing I've ever seen is her cooking that lone chicken wing.
One chicken
on
wing.
A grill.
Just the raw chicken wing. She just keeps scooting around.
She keeps fanning it. She has a fan and she's smoking a cigarette.
One
wing. That's the meal? God bless her. I wrote in all caps, that chicken wing. Who else we got? We got the Albertsons.
So yeah, do you want to talk about Fred
Ron
Willard?
And Sheila Albertson, Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Before we get to Catherine, I want to start with Ron. Okay. He is so infuriating in a good way, complimentary.
Yes.
Fred Willard is really good at playing these sort of like punchable guys who just always have a smile on their face, just like a car salesman vibe. They are the local travel agents. Ron is like sexist and a twinge homophobic, but also like clueless, always just kind of like trying to show off that he knows things.
I wouldn't say he's
punchable.
He's not like even verbally abusive exactly to Sheila, but he's unkind at best to her.
Well, she talks that they do scene studies at home. And she's like, and he always has extensive notes for me. Like, well, I have notes for both of us. It's just that you get most of them.
Oh, God.
He also, at one point, he's doing, like, I get in rehearsal, they're doing like a warm-up bit where he like takes off his ascot, also always wearing an ascot, takes off his ascot, and he's like sort of doing like a shimmying like thing around the two girls, and then he's about to do it over Alan Pearl. He's like, get out of here. And then, of course, like anyone who gets one laugh, he then reenacts it again right after he just did it, which always just drives the point home that I would not get along with Ron Albertson.
I also love him for that reason, because he's
absolutely
obnoxious.
And then he goes to Corky and laughs. I'm like, you know Corky is gay. You just made a homophobic joke in front of this obviously gay man. But whatever.
Not to go back to Corky, but I love how into the warm-ups Corky is. He's like playing the bongo and just so in the zone. He's so excited to get them to do these stupid things.
The breeze, remember when he's blowing on the ear? Now you jump to a conclusion, but before that it was Bahamanian. Caribbean.
Arubian.
God, deranged.
Ron Albertson has
he also makes Catherine O'Hara do his hair during the show, which is also infuriating. He's like, well, just do this and then fluff up the sides and then you can do your own hair.
There. He had to have a penis reduction at some point. One of my favorite lines is when she's upset, later when she's upset, she hasn't cried this much since our wedding night.
Because you're strong, Ron. You're strong.
Well, that brings us to Sheila.
Hold on. I want to make sure I don't have any... Montezuma's revenge is nothing more than good old American diarrhea.
That's good old-fashioned American diarrhea.
The first line. Yes, Sheila.
So great.
What do you think about her?
Insane hair.
She has these bangs that are just like completely stiffened up. Just almost like a human hand coming out of the top of her head.
Even for 1996.
It was absolutely insane.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
At first I was like, okay, I mean, Catherine O'Hara's of course doing a great job, but maybe she won't win the Catherine O'Hara Award. And then at the 45-minute mark, the play actually begins. She is terrible. There's part of me that's like, Ron's a sexist, but I can also see why she would get most of the notes during their scene studies at home. because she's so loud. When we see it during her audition, she mouths all of Ron's lines while he's saying it, which, if you've been in a theater production, there's always one person who is mouthing the lines. I remember there was one guy when I was in a production of E.B. White's Charlotte's Web.
Wow.
Pause. Thank you. I was the gander. And the guy who played like the brother, like Fern's brother in Charlotte's Web, whose name I can't remember, the guy who played him, you could see him doing it whenever someone was talking directly to him. And it's like, oh my God. And you could tell like the way he memorized his lines is he's waiting for you to stop talking.
Right.
So that he can talk. And here's the thing, Deej. I don't say this to everyone, but acting is reacting.
Acting is in the gaps. That's what I always say.
The God and acting are in the gaps. That's what I've always said.
She leads the charge on the excited mumbling in the play.
Oh, I love it. So her first line, I just want to say this because I wrote it down. I texted it to you. I texted it to several other people. The first segment of the play is the settlers coming and eventually settling in Blaine. They're intending to go to California and they mistake Missouri. They think they smell salty air and assume they are at the coast already. And Catherine O'Hara's character comes out and Catherine O'Hara screams, "California will be a sight for these weary eyes." And I had forgotten. I had memory hold that line and I couldn't stop. Full on witch's cackle out of my mouth. Love her.
It's so great. And the scene when they go to dinner with the pearls and she's drunk and Catherine O'Hara.
Do you like that scene?
I like it because she should never not play drunk.
She does do good drunk. She doesn't oversell. Yeah. She's just kind of, do you think that she has a drinking problem or did she just get drunk on that trip?
I don't know, but I just like, she's like, hold on, girl talk.
Girl talk. What's it like being with a circumcised man?
Oh, you didn't care for that scene. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's the weakest scene. It feels, I think one of the things that I like about Christopher Guest movies is that they do feel like they could be actual documentaries.
Right. Yeah.
And this is the one scene that veers a little bit into like a different form of comedy.
Right. Like it's sitcom-y.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people like Drop Dead Gorgeous. I don't hate Drop Dead Gorgeous.
We got to watch that.
But it does feel more Drop Dead Gorgeous than Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
A little bit broader than the rest of this whole movie.
Sure. I could see that.
So it's not a terrible scene, and there are parts I like. I also get confused because it seems like it's implied that he gets a penis enlargement, and then in this scene it seems like he's gotten a penis reduction.
No, it's a reduction. It's always a reduction. When does it?
Well, she says at one point when they're talking about when he's saying, some people think it's odd that we are travel agents and we've never left Blaine. And she goes, well, that one time. And there's this awkward thing. He's like, it was just minor surgery. And she goes, it's not so minor anymore. That seems to imply that he got his penis enlarged.
I see.
But then later in the scene, she seems to confirm that it is a penis reduction. But that always, like, there's a weird disconnect in those two scenes that always sticks out to me.
Probably because they improvised both of those things.
Yeah. So like, what happened with your penis? I can't remember. We'll just go with
it. Later, they were like, it'd be funny if it was a reduction. They're like, that is funnier. And so they went with it. I don't know. Yeah, she's great. All of the... Man,
and then Ron almost shows his penis to Dr. Pearl and says, no dances
let's
with
not do
Stumpy.
the voice.
It's Johnny Carson's voice.
Midnight at the Oasis.
She also can't sing, but also Parker Posey can't sing in a charming way.
It's so great. Okay, we already talked about Balaban. You want to talk about Johnny Savage? I want to hear you've been hinting at some lore here with Johnny Savage.
Yeah, I tried to look this up to see if anyone was on my page with this. Obviously, Corky is into Johnny Savage. Again, why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
And he seems to be flirting with him, and then he gives him his personal number. And I tried to look up if anyone was on my side with this, and Reddit was of no use.
Okay.
But to me, Johnny and Corky have fucked.
Oh, okay.
Because when Corky returns to the production after quitting, everyone's clapping, and Johnny Savage is just smiling broadly with his hands in his pockets, like with a knowing smile on his face. And when Johnny leaves the production, it feels like he was forced to leave his production. We've already seen him with his father, who did not like the look of Corky.
Brian Doyle
Murray, one of the most famous brothers in history. Cain and Abel.
I think he's probably the most famous brother of Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, okay. Joel Murray.
Suck it.
So many Murrays. We're lousy with Murrays.
There's like 4.
Wait, is there a 4th Murray?
Yeah, I think one of them doesn't act. I might be thinking of a Jonas. I don't know. I get those confused all the time.
You know what? It's actually one of the Hansons. Just doesn't...
It's a Baldwin.
Doesn't do music.
It's another Baldwin.
Greg Baldwin. Just wasn't interested. Didn't have a thick head of hair. Couldn't make
Couldn't
it.
do it.
What was I talking about? Oh, Johnny Savage.
About Johnny, yeah.
And when he quits, it feels... I mean, it is rude to quit on the day of the show, but Corky's reaction feels much more than just an actor leaving the production. I hate you, and I hate your ass face. So it's especially that scene because the camera like makes a point of like zooming in on Johnny when he's looking at Corky, and he's like beaming. He's very happy.
I didn't see that. I don't see gay subtext, so
that just might be a me thing. Reddit doesn't seem to be on the same page. They're just like, oh yeah, Corky's really into Johnny, and I'm like, it feels maybe not reciprocated at first, but it feels like something happened. These two.
All right. I thought like that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I did think it was a little bit glossed over because it's like it happened so quickly, and it's like, oh, this is the reason is we want to get Corky in the show,
right?
You know, and seeing him play like a more masculine character is
another way and young character.
Another way to make fun of this gay man. Yay! But it's just
fight and perhaps die. That's just my headcanon. Okay. You can have your headcanon that Eugene Levy stayed with his wife, and I will have my headcanon that Johnny. I just want Corky to get laid once in a while in this small town.
Yeah, I could,
because he seems not to be interested in the pharmacist whatsoever.
Who's the pharmacist?
The pharmacist played by Michael Hoffman. Who is obviously
Hitchcock?
In love. Oh, Hitchcock, sorry.
Yeah, he's the one that's like, I want to be in that play so bad.
God!
Yeah.
Should have been in that play. There's only one person who can do all that, and that's Barbra Streisand.
Why do I know him from? I know him from other stuff. I'm looking him up.
He's been in, I think he's in all of these Christopher Guest movies.
Yeah. For your consideration, Mighty Wind.
He's also, he pops up in a slew of other things. I feel like he was in The Office, maybe, as well as in a brief, like in a small role or something.
He's in The Paper. The Paper. Nobody Wants This. You love that.
Which one was Nobody Wants This?
Exactly.
Oh, right.
He was in the A League of Their Own TV show.
That's important.
I tried to watch that. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I feel like that's what I recognize him from. I love that show.
He was in Bridesmaids.
Okay. Yeah, he's
I think he pops up in a lot of these type of shows. He was in Arrested Development.
Can we agree that the most talented person in this cast, though, is Clifford Woolley, played by Louis Arquette, the narrator?
Yes.
He's like, actually, we were like, he's great.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's lucky that he just has to sit there by the fake fire and eat beans.
Yeah.
But he is great. Is he an Arquette of the Arquettes?
I don't know. I have to hold on. I'll get my book of Arquettes.
Yeah, please, for your tome. Blow the dust off of the cover.
Louis Arquette. His children are Rosanna, Patricia, Alexis, and David. So yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, he is good. He's I always forget that he's in this because he's really just the narrator, and he only really has one scene. In fact, there's only one shot of him like he's asleep at rehearsal. But he does a great job. Absolutely. He's normal, and he doesn't seem to have been affected by the acting bug. He does not upend his entire life.
He has no
because of the threat of more
taxidermy.
Guffman.
We get a young David Cross. He's a UFO expert for a brief scene. So Blaine was visited by aliens at some point. That's their second claim to fame after the stool.
I just want to say,
boom.
This goes, I mean, one of my favorite aspects of this, like especially watching this, is that you can tell that Christopher Guest knows documentaries. Like he's attending to the form of documentaries. In fact, I think even like the font he uses is like the same font that Errol Morris uses in his documentaries. Like it's very easy to forget now when we are flooded with shite documentaries thanks to streaming services. But like it was very rare. And so someone like parodying this specific type of documentary or a specific type of movie was very unique.
It wasn't like its own genre yet.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And it was also, I mean, it feels, like I said earlier, it feels like it could actually be cobbled together from someone following a small town production.
Yeah.
But one of the clever aspects of how it's constructed is that at the beginning of the movie, before we get to the play, we briefly, like, we pop in with this historian who is telling us all these historical events in Blaine, which then doesn't make us gives us context for all the scenes that are in the play later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't notice how clever that was until this viewing, but it is a very clever conceit that like sort of
it's great
squares the movie perfectly.
Yeah, because they was it Franklin Roosevelt or was it Franklin Roosevelt?
McKinley.
That's right. Yeah, I knew it had to be a more obscure president. McKinley came through, and a child gifted him a stool, and he had made the stool, and so
it's a stool. I make them.
And it creates a stool boom, and so Blaine becomes the stool capital, which is also funny. And then
they get visited by aliens, and David Cross is the alien expert who, I love this detail as well. We get a overhead shot of him measuring. There's a crop circle. There's a crop circle in town, and he measures the crop circle, but his tape measure isn't long enough to measure the whole thing, so it makes it about like 3/4 of the way, and then you can see David Cross's character is trying to measure it just with his body. And then we cut to him explaining, he's like, what's interesting about this crop circle is that its diameter varies by a few inches, but its radius always stays the same. A little geometry humor for everyone. He also says there are 5 letters in the town name Blaine.
There are 6. I noticed that too. It's always in the same weather.
61 degrees with a 40% chance of rain inside the circle.
I do think that is one of my favorite, because I don't know for sure, but that seems like improvised by at least originally improvised, and then maybe they sweetened it up or whatever. But then that and how boring Eugene Levy can be as Dr. Pearl as he's talking, like I think that takes skill to not be he's right. Intentionally,
he's a funny person, intentionally not being
he's
funny.
Intentionally being this doctor who is not that funny, who thinks he's funny, telling a story. And oh man, it's good. It's so good.
In the sardonically irreverent Dybbuk Schmibbik, I Said More Ham, where the song, of course, Bobby Made a Kishka comes from.
Two things I want to highlight.
Yes.
One, just one more line from Catherine O'Hara, because...
No, I mean, go crazy.
She says something about, I think it's Mars, when the alien mentioned Mars, and she goes, "Where's that?" She's screaming.
And she
at
turns to the audience to say, "Where's that?" God, I love her. That was me and Laura. We like to say, "Where's that?" in the weird cadence of Catherine O'Hara on stage. Where's that?
So good.
And we also like to improvise. We also like to do the boring arm motions that Catherine O'Hara insists on doing. Oh Lord, the choreography.
That's the other thing I wanted to touch on is I think this show is like pretty good.
I know that they want me to think the show is bad, and in a way it is bad. I feel like they hit the sweet spot of like, I wouldn't want to sit through this show, but Stoolboom is legitimately catchy.
A bop. That slaps.
Nothing Ever Happens in Blaine / Mars. Also solid.
Good. Yeah.
Nothing ever happened in Mars.
I think the amount of the show that we see is the perfect amount. If it were actually 60 to 90 minutes, like, no, thank you. But
there are a lot of deleted segments from the play you can watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we get just enough that it doesn't drag at any point. But yeah, there is some, I mean, for a sesquicentennial production of a small Missouri town, this is a great show.
It is.
All written by the drama teacher.
Yeah.
And well executed by the music director.
And he's over there. I like that he's clearly upset, when Corky comes back. He's like mad about the whole thing. He still gives it his best.
He does the damn thing. And he's pleased when it ends. He's smiling. He's like,
yeah, we really did it.
But yeah, I do agree that it's not. I think that again is like, this doesn't feel I think like with Drop Dead Gorgeous, again, I'm not shitting on it.
Wow.
But it does feel like it's not so much character based, it's much more situation based, where it's like, look at this woman with who's carrying, our crucified Lord on her back, or has a Mount Rushmore head on. It feels very like another level up, where it's like, this doesn't feel
it's a little bit.
You're right. It's not, and I don't think it's intending to be realistic.
Yeah,
but I think the realism really sells the mockumentary aspect in this, and it's not a terrible show. It's just, it feels like a regional production of a small town, history show.
Yeah. Want to go to the verdict?
Let me just see what I want to say.
Working.
Oh, I want to get some things off I liked Larry Miller as the mayor.
Yes. Yeah.
He says, there's a saying here in Blaine that if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. And I honestly think with hard work, we can get that down to 3 or 4 minutes. And I love that because it's like a misunderstanding of why people are saying that in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like, no, people are complaining that the weather's constantly changing. They don't want it to get faster. I also, I wanted to just, some of the auditions, I texted you about this one, but the one guy who does a scene from Raging Bull, for reasons. One, he does not choose a monologue from Raging Bull. He chooses a dialogue scene where he will be playing both characters. And it's out of control, inappropriate. He's just like, I'll be doing a scene from Raging Bull. You fuck my wife? What? You fuck my wife? How can you say something to me like that?
You already put too much emotion into it.
He's the most buttoned up old man saying, and out of nowhere he goes, you fuck my wife? And then I am happy to report, I finally did see Raging Bull in my 20s. And that is a scene in Raging Bull.
Yes.
Where Robert De Niro accuses Joe Pesci of sleeping with Kathy Moriarty.
Yes.
So
did he?
I can't remember. I might be confusing it with Casino, because Joe Pesci does sleep with Sharon Stone in Casino, who is Robert De Niro's wife. But I can't remember if he actually sleeps with Kathy Moriarty in Raging Bull. Audience, let us know.
Yeah, I'm not going to look that up. That's for sure. I don't like the audition scene as much. I just think the other auditions that are not our cast members, I think. I didn't get a lot out of it.
Well, you just get You Fuck My Wife, and then we get the guy who's doing like ping pong ball tricks, so he's shooting a ping pong ball out of his mouth. Is there another person that I'm forgetting?
I thought there was another one, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking of it.
Oh wait, he doesn't sing Camptown. Who? There's a man who's like, lightning is striking.
Yeah.
Again?
That's the first guy, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I do like the moment in the audition when Dr. Pearl seems to have written his own or learned a medley of songs.
Yeah.
And
he does an Anna Kendrick style mashup of some popular faves.
When he does a transition, he goes, "Look out."
Camptown ladies, sing this. And then he's like, somebody bet on the bay, way down upon the Swanee River. Puts a little stank on River.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stank. You can call that stank.
Let's see. I think, D'Artagnan, how dare you talk to me like that, you? Even saying it, I feel like I'm bullying someone. And, I wear a construction worker, like with one of those hats that's sweeping sort of hats with the chaps. All right, I think I'm ready for one last quote I want to get out.
Okay.
Kids don't like eating lunch at school, but if they have a remains of the day lunchbox, they're a whole lot happier.
Obviously.
Kids love remains of the day.
Yeah.
And don't like eating lunch at school?
Yes.
He's really got his fingers on the pulse of the children today. All right.
Damon.
No. Okay.
What is your verdict?
Hold on. I want to just
take your little notes.
DJ, Your Inner Child is an idiot. This movie sucks. It's not funny. The characters are too crazy. Gotcha.
Oh.
Your Inner Child is not an idiot. This is a great movie. Are there some dated aspects to it that I wouldn't like to see if this movie were wiped from the history and had to be remade again? Really complicated way of saying I wouldn't make those choices today. Yes. But Corky still still lives in my head. And there's part of him that there's a nugget of him that feels true, and I wouldn't want to get rid of him entirely. Polenta. I like that this is a very grounded documentary. It feels very real. And I love this sort of melancholic ending. It breaks my heart, but it also feels true. It's sad that they all sort of just get their lives upended by this play, mostly because of Corky's delusions of grandeur. But I mean, it's a funny movie. It's endlessly quotable. Everyone in it is great. I'm trying to think if there's even a weak person in this movie, and I don't think there is. Everything is fantastic. Even that scene that I say I could do without is not terrible.
Yeah.
It just feels like a step outside of what this movie's doing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Deej?
Do you have nominees that you'd like to nominate?
This is our first Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP award, where it is actually a memorial reward. Which
means I think we're going to remove the word memorial. It's just now the Catherine
ironically,
O'Hara.
We have to remove it now because the joke just seems cruel. It is, I will say, it is a tough race. Like, everyone in this movie is doing a fantastic job. But man, California will be a sight for these weary eyes. Is now, I don't know when I would say it. Maybe when I'm going to California once in a while. But Catherine O'Hara is fucking amazing in this. I think everyone is, but she really just wins my heart. Not so minor anymore.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Do you have a Sally Field single scene award?
You know what got me this time?
What's that?
Penny for your thoughts in the actual play. A penny for your thoughts. It sounds like a deal. Which is a duet between what was supposed to be Johnny Savage and Parker Posey or Libby Mae Brown. And it becomes a Corky St. Clair, Libby Mae Brown song. It's so awkward because, one, obviously Corky is in his 50s or 40s. and he's also very effeminate. And they're also doing terrible choreography for this number. They're doing these weird, like, ballet-ic kicks while they're sort of walking around a gazebo, Sound of Music style. And then they end in this, like, what is it, a plie at the end of the...
Yeah.
At the end of the thing where they just sort of, like, get close to the ground and point their hands towards their toes. It makes no sense.
Swan.
It's every wrong choice for this song. And the fact that Michael Hitchcock's character is just crying, entirely earnestly moved. But I'm open to more nominees. I feel like popped up in my head.
I have to go for the warm-up scene where they're doing warm-ups to bongos in the... Because it's so great. And I'm thinking of, like, the whole movie. I feel like you wouldn't have picked that on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth viewing. So
I'll allow it. Wait,
I got to give you my verdict. I don't even got to that yet. Damon, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but your inner child is not an idiot, because this is great. I think that we could definitely make some criticisms of Corky Sinclair as a character and the way he's portrayed, but overall, I think this movie is great. It's stacked with MVPs, as you mentioned. It's very funny. I do think it suffers a little bit from the Anchorman problem of being almost more fun to quote than to watch, but it's still a delight.
Really? I mean, I was surprised, but first off, it's a 75-minute movie.
I love a short-ass movie. I love that.
Toit movie. Don't say toit. Because I haven't seen it in maybe 10 years or 15 years, maybe. I was just far enough away from it that I did not know what the next scene necessarily was going to be. But every time a scene started, I was like, yes, this one.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't veer so far into it that I was like, I don't actually enjoy it. But it is, I don't know. I do love it. I love these characters. And I feel like I know people like this, have encountered people like this, have done shows with people like this. And I don't want to be in shows or around actually in real life people like this, but to watch them be lightly made fun of is delightful.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I think Catherine O'Hara is also my favorite in this. Although this is one of those things, like you liking Penny for your thoughts on your many, many times watch. I feel the same way about really enjoying Mrs. Pearl in this one.
I'm sorry?
Mrs. Pearl in this one is like became a standout to me. Just every time she's on, she's just like, she's having such a good time.
I'm trying to think now. I'm like, do I want Penny for your thoughts to be my, you know what? I'll leave it. But wait, What are you going to, you want to do warm up?
I like the warm up scene. Yeah. When he's playing the bongos
or do you want to do Stool Boom?
Okay. Yeah. I'll do Stool Boom because I do love Stool Boom. Stool Boom.
From the parlor to the pool room, everyone
song.
knows our name.
What do you think, everyone? Email us, yourinnerchildsandidiot@gmail.com. Text us, leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. Tell us why you hate Damon and he's ruining everything by his opinions.
Uh-huh. Go on.
Are you on the page?
Not yet. Okay. I clicked on the wrong link and then I had to do this other thing.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that is too close to the Johnny Carson thing, right?
We want to
From
think
the parlor to... Sorry. I started singing again.
No, go ahead.
That catchy.
You got business to attend to, so I'll just wait here. Just doing your own thing over there. We're still in the show.
I'm ready whenever you are.
And me, I don't know about you, but I want to thank our patrons for supporting the show, including Lindsay, Halik,
the supreme ruler of this podcast,
Josh Frigo,
shit on the cartouche,
dramatically placed hot dog,
Stu-StusStuartJ,
Lindsay, Nell,
Article Man,
Tippi Von Cheaterly,
Jonathon Day,
Jackson,
Larissa Maestro,
Caroline Amberson,
Jeremy Powlen,
Zachary Hartley,
Beth Surmont.
It had the cadence of a joke.
Holiday classic Jingle All the Way.
The Zesty.
Hizoner the Mayor.
Travis Vance.
Little Miss Chicken Nugget.
The Elusive fan Gromkin.
Hey, I met that Elusive fan.
Yeah, you did.
Not as elusive as he once was. The Hands of Fate.
Karen Kurd.
T. Smith.
Bill Haynes.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Tommy Boy is Damon's favorite movie.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Malcolm's Heaving Bosom.
Remember the Super Bowl commercial?
That is one big pile of shrimp. Remember when they de-aged them and it makes me uncomfortable and I wish they'd stop doing it?
Hate that. What do you think? Thank you for supporting the show. Patrons, patreon.com/Sharon an idiot. If you want to support like them.
From the parlor to the ballroom. Oh, another one that we used to quote in college was, "Bye, President McKinley." That became a way of saying goodbye to someone. It doesn't have to make sense. You know, if there's an empty space, just throw a line out there. That's what I do.
I like when people are, when you're looking at the person, you close your eyes, and then when you're looking away, you open them, and then when you're talking to them, you close your eyes.
The less is more style of acting. Oh my God, you guys are bastard people. So what I'm understanding is you're not giving me any money. Which what can I do with nothing? You know, I can't do anything with it. It's forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. To leave, to go and make a clean cut here and say, I can't remember the rest.
You were on a roll there, though.
I know I was. I got in my own head. I bet if I could just go on cruise control, I could have kept doing it.
This is like Newsies all over again.